Hello YouTube, I'm currently in the terminal of Prague Airport, the capital of a country which recently changed its unofficial name from the Czech Republic to Czechia, apparently. So there we go, we are in Prague, Czechia. I only learned this on the flight to Prague. And this is greetings from Prague. Which is going to take us to our flat in Prague city centre. During our flight, one of the passengers was feeling, quote, unwell, and he or she had to be taken off the flight first at Prague. Some kind of medical issue, I don't know, but they seem to be okay. Hopefully, they're all right. On with the holiday. Hello and welcome back. We've got the taxi to the flat. Here is the living room. We are now going to have a wander around the city. Here we are at Staromesto Square, which is just near our flat. We are now on our way to the very best part of Prague of all, the Central Railway Station, where we will be meeting our granddad and his girlfriend, who have come up from Budapest, and they're going to spend the 3 days with us, and then we're all going to take the train down together to Budapest. Strangely enough, in Prague, apparently, or Praha as it's known locally, or in the Czech language, we've got kutyos collage, which is something very Hungarian, and we were not expecting to find it here, and yet it's everywhere. Quite odd. Meanwhile, this city is beautiful. And there is a tram. Praha has a very complicated network of trams. And there are loads of different ones. Look, there's another one there, a slightly newer one, and another one. That's 3 different models, and there's 2 old ones over there. Many different variations of tram, all carrying the same basic colour livery. Just for a quick bit of clarification, I looked on Wikipedia. There are currently 5 different types of trams currently operating in Prague. There's the Tatra T3s, they're the nice old ones. There's the Tatra KT8D5 and the Tatra T6A5, both very similar old trams, look a bit like the ones in Budapest. There's the Skoda 14T and also the Skoda 15T trams, they're the newer ones. The 2 trams which I just mentioned in the background there are not operational on the network, they are not on a tram line, that is in fact a tram cafe, which we will find out in a moment.
Go faster, slow down, stop, go fast, stop, hurry up, stop a little bit, no, hurry up.
And there's 2 more trams over there. They seem to be old ones. Oh, hang on a minute. Those aren't in service.
I think there's so many nice places.
That is a cafe tram! Oh my god. Yep, it's a cafe tram. 2 converted old trams. It's now a cafe. Perhaps we will revisit that in the future. For now, we will be continuing to the railway station. And there it is, Prague's main station, or one of them. There's 2 or 3. I must say, it looks as if was once very beautiful, but is now in a very poor state. It looks a little bit decrepit and old. And here we are in Prague Station, which appears to be one of the most beautiful stations ever. Except for London Euston, of course. I must say, this station is empty. I mean, this is one of Prague's main stations, one of London's main stations, Euston, at peak times. Kind of looks like this. Here's a train. I don't know where it's coming from or where it's going. Oh, well, I do know where it's going. It's going to Revnitz, I think. I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm confused. This is platform 5. This is platform 5 and this is There's 2 platform 5s. That doesn't make any sense. Train from Budapest Keleti that terminates here. It's just arriving at platform 5 and my grandpa is on that train as he's come over from Budapest Keleti, obviously. It is a Euro. What was it again? I've forgotten what it's called. Here comes the train from Budapest Keleti, locomotive with some carriages. Very old-fashioned rail, not high speed at all. It is long distance, slow. Seems to be coming in at a speed on the other hand. The carriages seem to be of Czech origin. No mention of the company brand name, Euro something. From Budapest Keleti, terminating here. And that, I believe, is a Pendolino. That's a slightly more modern high-speed train. Now, where on earth would it be going? Germany, perhaps? Maybe Slovakia? Here comes another train into the other platform 5. This one looks like some kind of local commuter, rather than these 2 very different intercity expresses. Oh wow. I found it! I found the Czech pacer. It's a Czech pacer. So we've been chasing up and down the station looking for our grandpa, and we found the people, so it's not as abandoned as we originally thought, because there's a whole underpass. So you've got the road and then the old entrance from the road, and the road's elevated, and then if you go down through this subway, you get to the new entrance below the road, and there's a park back there, and that explains why the first entrance was so quiet. This double-decker train is still there. We're now looking for Dad and Noam, who got separated in the meantime. Fun, fun, fun. So here's the train we saw earlier, the City Elephant, for some reason. And then just arriving just over there on platform 2, or one of the platform 2s, there's a railjet. Eurocity, that's what it's called. I don't know who operates it, who's in charge of Eurocity, so I'm going to Google it when I get back to the flat. In the meantime, we're going to do something in the evening. I don't know. Should be fun. It is a beautiful city. So we're on our way back to the flat to drop off my grandpa's stuff, and we've walked down the middle of this nice parkway, and we have come to the tram cafe, or the cafe tram, whatever. So what exactly is happening here? It looks like 2 trams have been placed here and kind of converted into a building, kind of fused together into a walking cafe or something like that. That is brilliant. How cool is that? I love it. There are so many different variations of tram. There's got to be a catalogue somewhere, probably on Wikipedia. Another thing to check up when I get back to the flat. I've seen like 6 different types so far. There's a lot of lines as well. The map is just big. And look, there's an even older one. That's a really old one. Gosh, that is heritage old.
Jag never start.
So we just had some dinner, and we're now going to go and see the bridge, Carroy Bridge. And somehow there's just this pair of construction guys doing some welding in the tram tracks just in the middle of the street, like, right, okay. Is it British safety standards that are just over the top? Because if this were Britain, this whole street would be like closed off, because, but no, here in the Czech Republic, or Czechia,
Way of the tram.
or to be honest, most people prefer Czech Republic to Czechia. Czechia is not that popular. Nope, wherever it is, in the middle of Prague, you just have these two guys. Don't mind me, I'm just doing a bit of welding in the middle of a busy street. Because why not? And they're done. And then they're done. Okay. Right. And I have no idea what just happened. Yep, and now he's just carrying on. Brilliant. So here's one of the new trams. Good morning. Today is day 2. It is Thursday the 28th of April, and we are in Prague city centre, not far from our house, in the Jewish quarter where the old synagogue is and another little museum. We're now going to go get breakfast and plan the rest of the day. Crisis! We have just had breakfast in there, and we were just getting some money out, and the machine has swallowed my grandpa's credit card and won't give it back. So we have to call the bank and get it cancelled. Oh dear. Crisis averted, we have cancelled the card. We're now going to go on a little tour in this little hired car. We're going to go up to the castle and back down. It's even though it's open windows, but the seats are warm, and it's going to rain soon, so it's probably better than walking around. We've yet to decide what to do for the rest of the day. We might go on a museum. We might go somewhere on the tram. We will wait and see. Negotiations are underway. So we're now driving around Prague city centre. We are on top of the tramway, shared traffic. There's like this gap in the building that we go through. Oh, there's the old bridge that we saw last night. We should cross it at some point. And there is a tram, one of the newer ones. New ones are built by Skoda, which I didn't actually know produced trams, but apparently they do. They're very similar to the Siemens ones in Budapest, these new ones on the 4 and 6, but they're not actually made by the same company. Actually, come to think of it, it's quite obvious that they should be Skoda, because Skoda is in fact based in the Czech Republic, or Czechia. Although, like I said, the locals don't really like the name Czechia. Not quite sure why. To be honest, it sounds more rounded, but then there's probably a bunch of cultural reasons why they don't like it. I don't know. And there is another tram, one of the older ones. The taxi driver who took us to our flat from the airport told us that people generally prefer the old trams to the new ones because the new ones keep breaking down. I guess it's a case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh, National Theatre. Oh, look at this.
And there's another tram where it's a complicated tram junction. And we now cross the bridge, which also has trams in it. Seriously, this city is unbelievable. There's a tram line on every other road. I've seen already. There's another tram. Oh, and another one right in front of us.
It's
Actually not bi-directional. It's quite odd. There are so many trams here. It's unbelievable.
No.
And there's, it looks like a different one because it's got gold at the front, but it's the same series of new ones. Just some of them have gold, some of them don't.
Yeah, it's a bit like
I don't know why. I guess one of the main advantages of the new trams is that they're a lot bigger, so they can carry a lot more people. And we're now passing the Church of St. Nicholas, which is the largest church in Prague. There seems to be some filming going on around here. They've closed off part of the square.
don't know, someone inside there. Making a film.
Interesting.
What's that?
So we've taken a break from the little car tour. I think we're going to get back on in a minute. And we're going to have a look around this lovely little square. Every single junction is a triangle junction. It makes the route very flexible, so they can swap around the routes all the time if they want.
I thought Bologna was the oldest.
Hello and welcome back. We have abandoned our little car now, and where are we going now, Mum?
To the powder tower.
Powder
Which is
Tower.
gunpowder, obviously.
I thought you were going to the Art Deco Museum.
Yes, the Art Nouveau.
Art Nouveau, sorry.
Art Nouveau. Yes, it's on the same square.
I see.
The square of Republic.
I see. Hello and welcome back. We just had a meal after we toured the Mum, what was that place we just toured? It's like a concert hall, or a series of concert halls. What was it called?
It was called Municipal Dome or something.
Yeah.
Municipal House.
Which
is a
it's It's a bit misleading because it has nothing to do with council or anything like that. It's a concert hall, the municipality house. So that took. So it's now about 6 o'clock in the evening, and we've devised a plan on how to spend the rest of the evening. We are splitting up. Some of us are going to a concert. It's only about an hour at the Spanish synagogue, including Queen. And those who do not want to go there will go to the flat for a bit, and we'll meet up, walk around a bit, maybe cross the bridge, have a nice laid-back evening. Tomorrow we're going to take public transport and go to the castle, the palace, sorry, where we were before. We're going back there, and then we're also, Noam's going to get some segways, which has been his sole aim for this entire holiday, because he loves segways. I'm not that into segways, but to each their own, I suppose. Luckily he's been really well behaved and not annoying at all. Hello and welcome back. We just sat through a lovely concert, and now we are going to the river, Moldva, to watch the sunset. Tram. Douchebag. So here is Starometska, which is our local tram stop. This is the tram stop we will be using tomorrow. No, it's not, because we're going by metro, but it's also an interchange with the metro, which is somewhere around here. So this is our local tram and metro stop, and we'll be using the metro tomorrow to get to the castle, changing somewhere. Hello and welcome back. We're on the other side of the bridge now, and we're going to cross again and go back to the flat after a nice evening walk. It has been a lovely day. Tomorrow will hopefully also be lovely. So our second and last night at the flat, because on Friday night we're going to be hopping on a sleeper train to Budapest. I am not fully sure if it's a Euronight or a railjet yet. I hope it's a railjet, but I have a bad feeling it's going to be a Euronight, which is slightly worse in quality and standard, as you would have heard me ranting about in our train trip to Budapest video from summer of 2013, when I had the somewhat unfortunacy of travelling with a Euronight sleeper, although I wasn't quite sure the naming. I thought it was Utas Ellátor, but that's actually a Hungarian company who caters to food and bedding and whatever. The train itself is a Euronight. And here we are once again at the building which I thought was the Spanish embassy. It actually isn't, as we evidently figured out. It is it the town hall, Mum? The building that I thought was the Spanish embassy. It is the town hall, the new town. It doesn't look that new, to be honest. Good morning. It is Friday the 29th of April, our third and final day in Prague. We are going to go get some breakfast, then we're going to hop on the metro and the tram to go back to the palace we were at yesterday. We haven't decided what we're doing in the afternoon yet, and then in the evening we're going to hop on a sleeper train to Budapest, which I personally am excited for, but also dreading a little bit, mostly because I'm going to be listening to Noam complaining harshly the entire time. Well, our attempts to find a place to have breakfast have been most unsuccessful, so we are going to make our way to the castle instead. The palace. Castle. It's called the castle, but it's a palace. So we are at Starometska. We're going one stop up to Malantratska, and we're changing to the tram line 22 to get to the palace. So here we are in the underground station. We have to figure out what direction we're going in. Luckily there is a map over there which will tell us. How useful is that? I like this station design. It's quite snazzy. now passed under the river, and we are now in Malon-Tratska, which is probably not how you pronounce it at all. Oh, same station design. Oh no, this one looks like a Dalek. It does! It's a Dalek wall. It looks like a Dalek. So here we are at Malon-Tratska. Here's the tram stop, or one of the tram stops. There might be actually multiple sections, because this one I believe is only the 20 in the 22. I'm sure there are others here. Anyway, we want the 22 westbound to Bila Hora. No, it's not just the 20 and the 22, it's actually the 22, 18, 91, 12, 20 and 57. Although I think the 57 is a bus, I don't know. And here comes the tram. Oh, it's one of the old ones. Perfect. I did want to go on the old one. So we're now on the tram. Just going 2 stops. Oh, you know what? We've been here. This is the slope. We've been here twice. We've been down this slope twice. It's the same corner. We keep coming around here. The last 2 times by car down, and now with the tram up. Brilliant. Here's another 3-way junction. As I said, there's just pure 3-way junctions here. Haven't seen a single non-3-way junction in the entire of Prague. And we've been here before already, because this is the exact route we came with the hire car, the tour car, which took us around here. So this is the intermediary station, which I'm not even going to try and pronounce, and our station is the next one after this. You can tell from the private hire coaches that this is quite a tourist attraction. Oh my god, so many tourists. They've all come by the wrong form of transport. And here it is, the palace, and there is the cathedral next to it. It is absolutely choked with tourists. We're going to try and grab something to eat for breakfast first. And here is the impressive Prague Cathedral. Unfortunately, we cannot take photos inside, so I will see you later. That was the cathedral. We're now going to visit the palace. So welcome back. So we just went into the cathedral, the palace, and then another small church, and this is Gold Lane with these tiny little medieval houses. And we're now going to go up the White Tower. Yeah, there's nothing much of interest up there, just a bunch of fake armour. So you've got the passageway up there with more fake armour, and then these kind of questionably original medieval houses known as Golden Lane, and they're really quite small. Look, here's one. No, that's a bad one. Let's go for this one. It's a David-sized house. It's perfect. I could live here. They designed it just for me because I'm really small. Hello and welcome back. We've now left the castle grounds and we are going to take a quick boat trip up and down the river. So this little speedboat is going to take us to the main boat, I believe. So we're now on the other side of the river. There's this little island here with the swans, and there's not much of it, or not an island. This is like a branch of the river. And then it goes underneath this building. So it looks like we're going to transfer onto one of these boats. Oh, this is quite weird. So we're off our tiny boat in this kind of tunnel canal place thing. I think we go onto this boat now. I don't know. And we're off the boat now. That was fun. And here we are back at the eastern end of the Charles Bridge. Hello and welcome back. Here we are in the Charles Bridge Museum. It's all about the Charles Bridge. And it turns out that before the 1600s there was a second bridge, a smaller one, called the Judith Bridge. So the Judith Bridge was first, then they built the Charles Bridge next to it, and then the Judith Bridge was destroyed by a flood. And underneath the Charles Bridge Museum there's actually a little bit of the Judith Bridge and a staircase leading up to it that's been buried underground, and that's what we're looking at now. Spooky. Hello and welcome back, and now we're underneath the actual Charles Bridge in this little section of the museum. It goes underneath the foundations of the bridge, just over the land, and you can actually see where the actual ground level is. You can see obviously the city's built up a few meters above ground, and there's the actual ground level, and people have thrown a few coins down there for some reason. Tram! Welcome back. We have about 4 or 5 hours left to kill. We are splitting up. Me, my grandpa and my grandpa's girlfriend are going on the 17 tram. It's like the tram 2 in Budapest, equivalent of Prague. It goes along the riverbed, so we get to see the city from the riverside. We're going to take it back up here and then meet up with the others. The others are going to a museum, and then Noam is going to go on a Segway, which has been his entire aim this holiday. Hello and welcome back. After about half an hour trying to find tickets, we finally have them. The ticketing system here is a bit crap. You can only buy tickets from corner shops and metro stations. So we're here at Starometska tram stop. We're going to go down as far as we can go in 45 minutes and then come back up, because our tickets are by time, not by destination. We have 90 minutes to enjoy the tram along the riverside. Here is the 18, which is one of the newest trams. The 17 is right behind it. It is also one of these new trams. And here comes the 17. It's a lot like the 4 and 6 of Budapest, but that one is German Siemens, and this one is a Czech-made Skoda tram. And we now come in line with the river. So somewhere over there is a funicular which goes to the top of the hill. I think it's at the other end of that bridge. And there's this Eiffel Tower-like structure up there as well, at the top of the funicular. And we now seem to pass through the railway line, which also crosses the river. And here we are at a station called Divorce, which is probably not the best place to have a wedding. We are still following the river, but we are way out of the city centre. There we go, we can see the river again quite clearly, and there's a motorway bridge over it. And here we are at Nádraží Branik. I'm butchering all of these pronunciations. We're definitely out of the city centre now, and the tram is becoming a little less crowded. There's another railway line passing quite high overhead. Hello and welcome back. Here we are at Nádraží Modrágy, which is a rail interchange. We were originally going to change here, but we've got a lot of time because we've got a 90-minute ticket, and it's only been about 20 minutes. So we've decided we may as well go to the end and back. As the map holds true, this is the point where we curve away from the river. Here we are. We thought this was the end, but it's actually not. There's another stop. But we're still, it doesn't matter. We're basically from Prague city centre to the middle of nowhere in about half an hour, which is quite impressive. So it's very fast. I must say the outskirts of Prague suburbs are not quite as spectacular as the rest of Prague, as Prague city centre specifically. Once again, we seem to be experiencing the so-called Manchester side effect, where the side that we're not on gets 5 trams and we get none. And here comes the 17 tram. We have a window seat. I must say, despite the fact that we are in the middle of nowhere, which usually would mean the stops are further apart, the stops are still very close to each other. I don't know why. Here we are back at Prague Budapest, aka Nádraží Modrágy. I think Nádraží means station. I think we pass under one of the metro lines now, as I saw a metro train, well, it looked like a metro train passing over here. And then there's a railway line up there as well, which passes over the river. So we're now back alongside the river again. We'll be following it up into Prague city centre. Right now we're still kind of in the middle of nowhere. And there's a junction with the tram 21, and it is the only non-three-way tram junction I've seen in this entire 3 days within Prague. This is clearly an extension to the original tram network to bring it out to the suburbs, so it's probably not built to the original standards that the first lines were all built with 3-way junctions, which gives the tram network incredible flexibility. A whole first line. And there's the river again. What I notice about Prague and also Budapest is once you're out of the historic city centre, there's not really suburbs in the same sense that London and Manchester have miles and miles of tightly condensed housing, but you have like these kind of suburbs here, which we're just entering now, and then after that it's just this, you're in the middle of nowhere with lots of roads and dual carriageways, big advertisements and tall office blocks, and lots of graffiti. And here we are back at Honey I Want a Divorce station. So we now pass underneath the railway bridge, same as before. It's also got a pedestrian bridge and there's some weird things hanging from it. And we're now kind of on the edge of, we're just literally starting to enter the city centre. Here we are back at Starometska. We're now going to make our way over to the square to meet the others. And here we are back in the main square. As always, it is very crowded with tourists, and somewhere also my parents and my very annoying little brother.
Mégiscsak az ablaknál van. Most, hogy elment. A halál is mozog. Mindegyik mozog egyébként, csak ezek az alsók nem mozognak. És ez a 12 apostol? Valószínű. Számolni kellett volna őket.
A kakas is megszállja.
Hello and welcome back. We just ate a lavish meal at a restaurant called Mięsowny. Hands down, that was probably the best meal we've had so far in Prague. David Frankel Gold Award restaurant approved. I think I need a proper name for this. What do we call it? The Gold David Frankel stamp of approval. There we go. So we might climb the church tower now because we haven't seen enough views of Prague from above. Yet. So we are now making our way to the top of the tower. And up a second set of stairs, or not in fact, as it is a ramp. But this lift is quite stylish. Dad says it looks like a TARDIS. So evidently this is not a church at all. This is in fact the old town hall, as opposed to the new town hall, which is the building that I mistook for the Spanish embassy. Hello and welcome back. We are now out of the town, the old town hall. We are now going to start heading back to our flat to collect our baggage, and then we will be taking a taxi to Prague Holešovice. I don't know. Hello and welcome back. We are now heading back to the flat, and now I'm as caved in and bought one of those light up spinny thingies, which is now going to try and fire up into the air unsuccessfully.
Oh my god.
Hello and welcome back. After a short taxi ride, we are now at Prague Holešovice, which is one of Prague's several stations where the sleeper train to Budapest starts. The train actually passes through the other station, I can't remember the name, that we went earlier, where Bela Papa and his girlfriend came from a few days ago. But for some reason we could not buy a ticket from there, even though it stopped there. So we had to come out here, and nobody really knows why. But oh well, we're here now. We get to see another railway station, and we get to hop on a sleeper service. And this is, like I said, this is the first time we're on a sleeper in years. And here we are at Prague Holešovice. We are very early, and this station is spooky. We are the only ones here in this entire station. So our train leaves in about half an hour, and that will be goodbye Prague and goodbye to the country which we're still not sure what its name is, whether it is the Czech Republic or it is Czechia. The debate is ongoing. Next stop is Budapest, the capital of Hungary. We've been there a few times before. We're going there again. And then on Sunday night, we go back to Manchester. And finally, after about half an hour of waiting, here comes our train. Oh, it's fast. train. Oh no, it's a coupling train. It goes to different destinations. The carriage is going to... One of the carriages is... I don't know actually what is going on. This one says it's going to Vienna. Euronight sleepers often split at various stations so they can serve lots of destinations at once. I don't know. Let's just hope for the best. And here we are at Prague Hlavní, where we really should have gone on because this is 20 minutes away from our house. But for some strange reason we
could have gone on the station, no problem.
But for some reason we could not buy a ticket to this station. We don't know why. And we are now leaving Prague main station.
Nem, majd akkor fog, amikor mindenki elaludt, akkor hirtelen eszébe jut, hogy jó, neki tojnia kell. Oh God.
See, Dad, we left before it, so...
Hány óra?